you know what? I should be, after a 2-all draw against Manchester United, be coming on here and turning around and saying, well done to the team and everything. And to be honest, I am going to say that. We played fantastically well to the point where we should have won the game. Welcome back to the Big Match Review, where I'm looking at the most recent games. But there's only one real talking point in this game, and I'll tell you what it is. It's got to be, the absolutely shocking performance by what is supposedly a Premier League referee. Now, I'll go through, what happened. The lineup was announced. To be honest, it was what I expected. It's what I actually expected. I did think that, Sinistero was going to be out for this game. And to be honest, he probably should have been out for this game because he did go off fairly early in the match. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. Ouattara was on the right-hand side of that attack. And I was a bit surprised by that because I think, defensively he's done quite well recently, but I think, he did. I thought his performance was very good yesterday, as was Mr. Kluivert's. And of course, Mr. Kluivert got a goal, and a well taken goal. So let's go from the top. Solanke, excellent taken goal. It was a slip up from the Manchester United defender, which let him in, and scored with, I think it was 16, 17 minutes on the clock. So yeah, it was an excellent, well taken goal. Of course, we had we did have Bruno Fernandes, who did score. And to be honest, it sat up very well for him. It did sit up very well for him. And, it's a shame that, the cross into the box was good. And yeah, if it bounced perfectly, and you can't have no complaints about that, apart from maybe defensively could have been a little bit closer. But hey, we've been good defensively recently, in my opinion, and you can't knock that. Of course, we went 2-1 up. And of course, that goal come through Justin Kluivert. He's been brilliant, well taken, swerved into the left hand side of the box. The Manchester United goalkeeper had no chance of getting to it. And, you know, I thought at that point, well, Manchester United have already been peppered with shots. We had Gaz Whelan from the Happy Mondays come on, and he actually mentioned that Manchester United get hit with a lot of shots, too many shots. I did go on the Manchester United channel as well, and they said exactly the same. Now, there's a couple of contentious decisions here, and I am absolutely livid with these. Now, the first one has to be the Maguire handball, or arm ball as I call it, and I'll call it arm ball because personally, I don't think it was a penalty. I don't think it was a penalty at all. Um, you know, but it struck him on the arm. Could he have got his arm out the way? Probably not. Probably not. And I'm absolutely fine with that. What I'm not absolutely fine is what happened next, and the complete honestly, this dumbfounds me. Absolutely fucking dumbfounds me. So in the second half, the referee, Tony Harrington, take a bow, Tony. The first time you're ever going to be famous, and probably the last time, because to be fair, Tony should be refereeing games between Harrogate Town and Barrow based on this performance. It was absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. So the ball's come in and it struck Adam Smith on the arm. Now he has turned his body to actually try and get away from the ball, it looks like. But it struck him on the top of the arm, exactly the same place as it hit Harry Maguire, believe it or not. But Tony Harrington went straight, pointed to the spot, and this stupid fucking thing, VAR, that we're meant to have. For some reason, it wasn't even overturned. I don't even know if they actually looked at it. Don't even know if they actually looked at it. And it was an absolute joke because, of course, Bruno Fernandes was always going to score from the penalty spot against us and it was going to equal it up to 2-all. But again, a terrible decision made. What was Smith meant to do? Fucking dive on the ground to fucking try and get away from the ball? I'm not saying it's because it's Manchester United here, but there is definitely a top six preference in the Premier League. There is definitely a top six preference. It was never a penalty. Likewise, the Harry Maguire one wasn't a penalty either. We didn't deserve a penalty from that, and neither did they. And I'm not saying it because it's Manchester United or a top six club. I am saying it because that is the consistent way of looking at it. If one's not a penalty for us, it's not a penalty for Manchester United. Consistency. The Premier League is ran so. And do you know what? You can see why Nottingham Forest have employed Mark Clattenburg to overlook their decisions. Because Mark Clattenburg, well recognised referee. Of course, he's in Gladiators now. We can say as much of that as we will, but a well recognised referee has been brought in by Marinakis to oversee and look at the vital decisions. And the reason why he's been brought in by Nottingham Forest and Marinakis is because there is so many fucking stupid decisions like this. There's no consistency. That's the biggest problem. Now, there was, of course, Ryan Christie ran through on goal, and there was the first one. We'll talk about the second. Um, well, just literally in stoppage time. But the first one, Ryan Christie's ran through. Was this penalty? No. But was it a yellow card? No. Lewis Cook has turned round and he's given his opinion. And Tony Harrington has gone straight away, poof, yellow card. I'm sorry, but if you're a fucking referee, you need to listen to the players and actually understand exactly what they're trying to say. Given a difference of opinion, given a difference of, this is what I think's happened. Listen to them. It is absolutely shambolic, the refereeing in the Premier League. And you know why it is? It's because VAR has come in and it's overruled absolutely everything. These referees now are poor because the decisions are being made by somebody in head office watching on the screen. They're not even in the fucking ground, watching on the screen, going, oh, yeah, yeah, Tony, yeah, yeah, don't give that one. That's what they're doing. I am honestly, it's absolutely fucking shocking. And then the one in stoppage time, well, Mark McAdam had his own say on it, and I think Mark hit the nail on the head. So, of course, a run through, and the Manchester United man brought down our player. A penalty initially was given. A penalty was initially given. But then, of course, VAR gets involved and they decide, no, it's not. And I just, it's absolutely ridiculous. So this is what Mark McAdam said on X or Twitter or whatever you call it nowadays. On the Bournemouth penalty call at the end, according to the FA's laws of the game, law 12.3. If a defender starts holding an attacker outside the penalty area, which did happen, and continues holding inside the penalty area, which did happen, the referee must award a penalty kick. Now, Mark has followed up a little time after, ultimately, what all the responses show, and this is where it's so tough for the officials, is that everyone views the situation differently. I feel sorry for the officials operating with this pressure week in, week out. Do you know what? I couldn't have said it better myself, Mark. I think it's absolutely spot on. But if somebody is there, and this was overruled by VAR, so the referees made the right call on the pitch. So Tony Harrington, take a bow. Well done. Clap, clap. You've made one decision right. It would have been nice if you got the fucking penalty against us right as well. But let's move on. So he's made the right call on the pitch. Then somebody in head office has called him up. He's not even gone to the screen. He's listening to him on his little mic, and they are drawing these fucking lines. And I'm sure that Michael Owen will have his say on it as well. And I could not give a shit what Michael Owen says, because Michael Owen, I'm sure, will turn around and say, "Oh, the referee's right. The referee's right." The referee definitely wasn't right. Somebody in head office who should have the rule book in front of them, with this law open on the page. If I was doing this job, you know, firstly, anybody who does this job has to have no bias. So personally, if somebody supports this particular team, say for example myself, Bournemouth, I should not be able to make these decisions on Bournemouth games. Now, I don't know who makes these decisions, what fucking teams they support. At the end of the day, I think, that would make sense. But I'm not saying that that is the case or isn't the case. But somebody should have had the law that Mark is referring to in front of them and should have implemented it on that scope. You can see, the 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 defender is holding our attacking player outside the penalty area, and is continuing to hold our attacking player inside the penalty area. So therefore, it's a penalty. But of course, VAR, somebody in head office has got it completely and utterly fucking wrong again. And of course, ourselves, like Wolves, I'm going to bring Wolves and Gary O'Neill into this as well. Sorry, everybody's going to go, "Oh, Gary O'Neill." I could not give two shiny shits. The thing is Wolves and Gary O'Neill, if they had had their rub of the green, which to be honest, they've had absolutely none of it, they would be a lot better off. In fact, somebody even put that they'd be in sixth spot at the start of play yesterday. That's showing how shit the Premier League is at the moment. You've got Richard Masters, sat there at the top of it, giving points deductions to Everton and Nottingham Forest, whilst fucking Manchester City and Chelsea just sit there drinking fucking cups of tea and thinking that they're all cushy, which, let's be honest, they are, because Masters doesn't want to lose, his two top cash cows. Let's be fair. They bring a lot of support and they bring a lot of people to watching the game. Yet ourselves, Wolves, you could probably put Palace into that mix. Luton, let's throw them into the mix. Burnley, Sheffield United, Brentford, we all get fucking shafted. And the reason being is Masters and the Premier League could not give two shiny shits if we get relegated or not. And they could give two shiny shits if Ipswich come up and get relegated themselves through fucking terrible decisions like this. It's really annoying me, the inconsistency. We've been robbed by the referee, absolutely robbed by the referee. Firstly, he's given a penalty that VAR has not even decided that they're going to jump in on. I mean, no wonder Iriola is pissed off at the end of the match. And, I saw, what he said on Sky Sports sometime after. And, he just seemed despondent. He seemed lost about it. Probably not as harsh as what Gary O'Neill has, because let's be honest, if you have everything go against you every fucking week, you're going to start, getting really, really wound up. But that could have been, you know, let's say an extra 24 million for this football club that years ago nearly went out of existence. you know, that could have been another 24 million in the coffers. But thanks to fucking terrible refereeing decisions and a fucking terrible referee who should never referee another Premier League match as long as he lives, you know, I absolutely shocking, shambolic decision making. I am absolutely dumbfounded. But look at it this way, our team have done us proud. We played very, very well. We were the better side. Manchester United, I said in the preview, and I've said, I actually was involved in an article, and Manchester United fans have got every reason to be annoyed. They are, love them or hate them, they are one of the biggest football clubs in the entire world. They are, they are. But they are stumbling from game to game under Ten Hag, and to be honest, he needs to go as well. Richard Masters needs to be sacked for what he's doing with Everton, Forest, and not, bringing City and Chelsea to the table. But Ten Hag has just completely lost the plot at Manchester United, and he has to, he has to lose his job because, to be fair, you know, really, if that penalty was given, and it's not given, that Dom Solanke would have stepped up and put it in the back of the net, but it's more than likely we would have taken the 3 points. And Gaz, fair play to him, he predicted, a 3-1 or a 3-2 to Bournemouth, would have been absolutely spot on. And me, who went with the more conservative approach of, I think, 1-1 draw, I think I think it'll be difficult. I would have been completely wrong. Um, but I think you know, referee, it's just inconsistency which annoys me. Um, we're no closer to European places. Do we want Europe? No, I don't think we do, because it would put too much of a strain on the side. But at the same time, you don't expect to be done by a decision like that. Like I say, please hit the subscribe button. Um, it does help the channel to grow. I should be a lot happier after a draw against Manchester United. I'm not, because of refereeing decisions. Sam Allison, that's the referee that was good. Get him back to referee our games. I think he was a very, very good, capable referee. Um, I think he's the best referee I've seen all season. But I don't know where this guy is coming from, and I think his decision making was absolutely atrocious. I think it was that poor. It was that poor that, do you know what? Harrogate Town versus Barrow. I wouldn't even wish that on those two teams, and that's, of course, League Two. I think I think he needs to go back to fucking Sunday league football. There's probably better referees on a fucking Sunday morning after a night out on the piss than this bloke. Let us know what you think. Very, very disappointed. Should have won the game. Should have been 3 points. But well done to our side. Excellent performance. Fantastic pieces of play. Couldn't do anything about either Manchester United goal, really. Well taken goals, controlled the game, peppered Manchester United as expected. Much the better side. Um, so yeah, very proud, but very pissed off after that one. Let us know what you think in the comments. Till the next one, up the cherries. We'll see you soon.